Hi, Rick.
Thank you. Good morning.
Nice to meet you. So, how was your drive
It
in
was a
today?
fantastic drive. It was very convenient.
Good, good.
Didn't take
Good.
long at all.
Very impressive resume.
Thank you.
I see you're an
I was
MBA and a professional engineer of how long?
roughly about 10 years.
10 years.
But also, I was doing some research on you as well and very impressed with your background, so hopefully we can collaborate.
Well, thank you,
so
thank
much.
you. So let's get right into this thing. I've got some questions here. They're what we call star questions, where I'm going to ask you a question to tell me about an experience, and what I'm looking for is the situation, task, action, and results. So the engineering manager is often faced with ethical dilemma. Tell me about a time when you had to complete a design with a tight time frame, but the initial design wasn't quite coinciding with your ethics.
Yeah, actually, a recent experience last year, there was a systems job with a food manufacturer. They were manufacturing protein powders and stuff. And so I was involved with that system design. And part of the design was to get some of the raw materials over into the mixer. And the entire mixer and system platform and everything is all food grade. And due to budgetary and time constraints, they wanted to order a hoist and trolley, which was not food grade, in order to save some time and money. So I was pushing back as much as possible to prevent that from happening.
So what actions did you take to limit this ethical dilemma?
So what I personally did is I was in contact with the purchasing to discuss the situation. I actually brought it up to engineering manager, I brought it up to technology manager, brought it up to the project manager, and I actually even discussed with the customer.
Good, good. So what were the results?
Unfortunately, everyone, even though they maybe agreed with me in person just to save some money, unfortunately chose to choose saving a few dollars over the safety of the end user.
Right, right. And sometimes
So
that's
that
the
was very
decision.
unfortunate
Yeah.
from my point of view.
So what lessons did you bring home from that experience?
Not necessarily a lesson I wanted to learn or believe that people are like, but unfortunately, some companies value profit over the safety of end users.
Okay. How would your actions change next time around, having gone through this experience?
I would maybe push a little harder on the end user in order to make sure they absolutely realize the consequences that they're having and the impact on their end user or the consumer.
Good.
Because I think they would realize that was a fairly bad decision just to save a few bucks.
Right, right. Well, so our engineers here are often asked to provide an ironclad solution to a concept made from clouds. Tell me about a time when you felt your manager was asking you to deliver a solution to a poorly sold concept.
Again, I went through this very similar situation just recently. The last project I was working on, again, it was for a aluminum paint manufacturer. So the requirements were very difficult. They had dual hazard ratings for explosive gases, explosive powders. And again, as far as functionality wise, they wanted a completely full vacuum. They wanted the vessel to maintain full vacuum as well as some pressure. And they also wanted the entire top to basically lift out of the way during explosion. And they also wanted this to rotate out of the way to clean from and be accessible from the front and back.
Wow.
And tilted forward at 20 degrees in order to be convenient to dump stuff in. And so this is a lot.
So almost it sounds like it's defying gravity.
Yeah, so basically, and on top of that, during that exact timing, there was our pressure vessel inspector came in and explained the situation. He started laughing, so that's impossible. But anyway, nonetheless.
So how did you react when you
Yeah.
first
um,
got this task?
Basically was pushing back a little bit on how some of the requirements seemed absurd and not realistic
Okay.
and not timeline, so just I did as much pushback as I could.
Just curious, were you able to make the impossible possible?
Fortunately, I was, but it was very uncomfortable, but I put in extraordinarily long hours during those couple weeks to get the initial concept through and out, but I was able to make almost impossible, which, like, the inspector was laughing, said it couldn't be done, and I still pulled it off.
Good, good. How did your manager guide you through these difficult phases?
And my manager essentially put up more roadblocks than help in this situation, so it was very little guidance, more help, don't do this, don't do that. And one of the reasons I'm interviewing with you guys today.
And if you were in your manager's shoes under those circumstances, what would you have done differently?
I actually would have not put my employees or direct reports in that circumstance at all. It's like as if, felt like I was set up for failure, but you need to have your workers succeed, have some energy, you don't set them up for failure, but even if you have a very difficult situation, you give them full support, give them the tools they need and other resources, other help, split up the workload, but you just try to make them be able to achieve the goal.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, Rick, from where I'm sitting, I would like to take the next step with you. What that looks like is I'll recommend you to our Director of Engineering, and you'll have a sit-down interview with her, and we'll target next week if that works for you. So we'll reach out to you, we'll get some times that work for you and her, and see what time works best.
Thank you, I really appreciate this opportunity.
All
I
right.
look forward to speaking with the director. And
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
Any questions for us before you?
Do you guys know the timeline, assuming everything goes
Yeah,
along
yeah,
both
we're
sides?
looking to fill the role immediately.
That's
So,
fantastic, because I'm looking to
Good
make
stuff.
a move as soon as possible as well. Thank you.
Good, good. All right.